What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel here to talk about the news. Johnathan Majors is to star in an action movie from the Daily Wire. We all know who's involved with the Daily Wire. For the most part, like I said, we got Ben Shapiro here. He actually went on social media and announced it. I saw this on Facebook. I saw the article and I seen the comment section, which was, it went about as well as you would think it would go. But I'm going to go over this article and I'm going to give my thoughts and, what I think about all this. So here we go. Johnathan Majors is getting started on the new feature as he continues to pursue projects outside of the studio system following his 2023 conviction for assault and harassment. So it says, Majors is set to star in writer-director Kyle Rankin's action movie that hails from the Daily Wire and Bonfire Legend. The title and plot details have not yet been shared for the film that launched this production, the film that launched production this week in South Carolina has been described as being in the vein of Red Dawn and Toy Soldiers. Toy Soldiers, man, I used to love watching that movie as a kid. Shoot. Probably haven't seen it since the early 90s, but I definitely enjoyed that. All right, moving on. Producers include Ben Shapiro, The Daily Wire, and Dallas Sonier, I hope I'm saying that right, for Bonfire Legend. Let's see. The two production companies previously collaborated with Rankins on his 2020 film Run, Hide, Fight that starred Isabel May and Thomas Jane. Isabel May, she was on not Yellowstone, but she was on the spinoff show 1883. She played the Elsa character. It's a good show. Good show. All right, so as I said earlier, Shapiro took to social media today to react to the news about the film with the post, "You're not going to believe what we're doing." After his conviction, Majors, that stemmed from an incident with ex-partner Grace Jabari, Majors was dropped by Marvel as Kang the Conqueror and also let go from the starring role of a Dennis Rodman Lionsgate 48 Hours in Vegas. Wow, I didn't even know that was coming out. The actor has yet to book studio work since, but did land a role in indie film Merciless. All right, so this article just goes on and on to talk about just the issues he's having. Down here it says, let's see, during his, I messed that up, y'all. Oh, damn, son. I'm trying to get this shit. Hold on. There we go. So during an interview with the Hollywood Reporter for a cover story, Time to Magazine Dreams release, Major said he had been reading scripts and taking meetings in hopes of resuming his acting career. Johnathan Major says, "Do I hope to make more movies? Absolutely. That is my intention, but that's not my call. I don't have a studio, and I've given up control." So here's the thing. This is what I think about all this is, could this work? I don't think so. I think this is a desperate man. I mean, like I said, he lost a lot. I mean, for a lot of people that may not realize that Johnathan Majors, man, he was the next big thing. I mean, he was doing ads for the military. He was probably, if you ask me, the best part. I think most people was the best part of Creed 3. I mean, he was as hot as fish grease. I mean, look at the trajectory of Michael B. Jordan. You could say that Johnathan Majors was headed for that and maybe beyond. Because if I can remember right, he was supposed to be in Sinners. So the character that Michael B. Jordan played, he plays twins. From what I understand is Johnathan Majors, they were supposed to be brothers. It wasn't originally twins. It was supposed to be Johnathan Majors, but because of this incident, he was pulled from that. Not to mention Marvel, they put a whole phase around his character Kang. You know how you had the Thanos in phase 1, and that went for 3 phases. They were gonna make it around him, and so they Marvel had to rework everything because of this incident. So man, he lost a lot. And the thing is it looks like Hollywood has kind of turned its back on him. I mean, he's kind of getting the Nate Parker treatment. Nate Parker was also a guy that was on the rise. You guys may not remember him, but look at this picture here. Nate Parker, he was on the ascent, and then he had an issue with a case that from his past, and it was brought to light, and we don't see Nate Parker anymore. And Nate Parker was a great actor. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it does happen. And I think this turn to Daily Wire for him, I believe this is like last minute. And I think that like Daily Wire is kind of trying to trade off his name. Like, okay, this guy, yeah, he's got some baggage, but I mean, he is a good actor. He's a name. And maybe people will tune in to the Daily Wire just out of curiosity to see what Johnathan Majors is going to do in this film. But I will tell you this. I've seen this. It was shared online on Facebook. This is where I first saw it, was on Facebook. And I clicked on the article and went immediately to the comment section. And like I said, the comment section was brutal because the base that is Johnathan Majors, or was, or maybe still is, his main base, they're not rocking with the Daily Wire. They are not rocking with the Daily Wire, and they let it be known in the comment section. Like, one of the comments I saw was like, he is removed from the cookout. He is no longer invited. I mean, I thought being black, it was a given you were at the cookout. I didn't think you had to be invited, but people were saying he's not welcomed. And then you had somebody also comment that said he's not invited to the carne asada or whatever as well. And I'm just like, God damn. So it's just real crazy how like things can just turn that fast. Like, 4 or 5 years ago, he was in the prime. Like, he's still technically, I would say, in the prime, but that prime is just being wasted. Like, they turn their backs on him quick. And so like I said, I think a lot of this is just a guy who's, he wants to act, he wants to work. And, there comes a point where, you got to take what's available. I look at it this way. Like, I live in a state that's a right to work state. So if a company goes on strike, you have the right to work. And so I remember when I was a kid, this would have been, God, I can't think. This probably had to be in early 90s, maybe like 93, 94, somewhere in there. The company my dad worked for, they went on strike. And so it was one of those things, they knew it was coming. My dad was in the union. They knew it was coming. And so he kind of saved, along with my mom, he put some money away. And I believe he saved for about 6 weeks. He's like, I'm going to give you guys 6 weeks. And you guys got to come, if they don't make any headway, I got to go to work. And so, my dad, he gave us 6 weeks. They still were on strike. He went to work. But the thing about it is, it's like, yeah, they may have called him a scab or whatever, but at the same time, he had a family to take care of. He had 3 kids and a family to take care of. And I think that's kind of what it's looking like here for Johnathan Majors. Is like he sat out his fan base. People was riding hard for him. You look at that footage, he's actually running away from that broad. He's running away from her. But the fans who supported him, they stood by him, but at the same time, standing by him doesn't allow him to work. And I think he thought, look, man, here's the deal. I waited long enough. It looks like mainstream Hollywood ain't going to forgive me. I need to work. And the Daily Wire was hiring. And so, he took the job. Now, the Daily Wire, as far as like their films go, I don't think they've had anything that's been like a success as far as their films. But I think that Matt Walsh, he's a part of them. And What Is a Woman, that documentary, I think that was probably their biggest, like, as far as media, if you want to count that documentary as film, which, most documentaries are, that's probably their most, their highest selling point. But as far as their films, I know they've had some movies with Gina Carano, talked about the run. I think it's the run. What's it called? The run, hide, and fight. I'll see. I'll have to look up what the numbers are on this, but I don't think whatever it made, I don't think it's anything that blew the socks off anybody. And I just think the Daily Wire, like the subscriptions and all that, it's early. They just, this Daily Wire thing just started not too long ago. So, but it doesn't have, quite the numbers as I would say like an Apple TV, definitely not Netflix, not HBO Max, but it's kind of a niche thing. And like I said, I just would have never thought somebody of Johnathan Majors caliber would be, at the Daily Wire. So yeah, guys, I thought, like I said, I just give my thoughts on this. I saw this interesting to hear, and this definitely wasn't on my bingo card for 2026 that Johnathan Majors would be rolling with the Daily Wire. But hey, like I said, there comes a point where it's like, hey, man, I want to work. I need work. And you're going to go where the work is at. And I think, like I said, I saw the comment section. I think a lot of his fans and people that support him, man, they're going to really turn their backs on him. And, it's unfortunate. I think they should start asking questions like, why aren't, maybe putting the pressure on some of these studios to like, hey, man, he's done. Why are you not hiring him? Something like that. I don't, because like it's been quiet. I haven't heard anybody going hard in the paint for Johnathan Majors, but when he decides to make a decision for himself, boy, they letting him hear it though. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for this one. Guys, like I always say, man, if it's for 1 minute, 5 minutes of the whole damn video, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view my content. So if you like what I'm saying and you stuck around this long, man, what you waiting for, man? Go on ahead and hit that subscribe and get in the comments, share the video. Let me know what you think about this. Are you somebody that you've been rocking with Johnathan Majors? You like Johnathan Majors? Are you still gonna roll with him, even though Hollywood and no other place is giving him an opportunity? Or are you like, nah, man, I can't roll with you like that. You over there. So yeah, with that being said, everybody, it's your boy P signing off, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.